Are you like most people? At times you may have a question for your doctor, but you can't get to him or her, so that you may ask your question. Good news, your worries are over, because the Mount Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church, in partnership with Caldwell UNC Healthcare, bring to you Let's Talk to the Doctor, a 15-minute talk with real doctors from the Caldwell UNC Healthcare, designed to educate and answer questions that are a concern in our community. Let's not forget, our communities perish for the lack of knowledge.
Well, welcome back to our second segment of Talk with the Doctor. And because of time, I'm just going to turn this segment over to Miss Deborah Ashley Smith at this time, and we will continue then to talk with the doctor.
Thank you again for listening in, and we hope we'll be able to continue to provide enough information that you can make some good decisions about your own health. Dr. Lowry, in the first sec, talked about the flu, how you get it, what it is, that we're in the season of the flu right now. And we expect to be there till the spring, right?
We do, yes.
And we know that everybody is susceptible, and everybody has the potential to have complications if they don't take care of themselves and hopefully try to avoid the flu, right?
Yes, yes indeed.
So let's talk about the one best option for making sure you don't get the flu.
Sure.
So that's going to be a vaccine that we've had for a very long time. Do you have any idea how long that vaccine, just approximately how many years the vaccine's been out there?
At least 30 years we've had a flu vaccine available. So it's been...
One thing though, the flu vaccine we have now is probably a little different than it was in the beginning, right?
Yes.
So there is some science about the vaccine that probably most people wouldn't have any reason to know about or really think much about, but it's important to understand the science of it to kind of give people confidence about how effective it can be. And can you talk about that just for a minute?
So the idea behind a vaccine is to make our bodies immune to the virus that we're giving the vaccine to. So our bodies normally make antibodies. Those are proteins that circulate in our bloodstream that attack a bacteria or a virus once it enters our body. And so with the flu vaccine, basically the vaccine stimulates our own body to make antibodies as if we had a flu virus. It tricks the immune system into making those antibodies. So the body, our bodies produce those proteins that are circulating around in the blood looking for flu virus. And if one virus enters our bloodstream or enters our body, those antibodies go in and destroy it. And so it's really a way, the vaccine has some of the proteins that are on the flu virus, but they're not harmful proteins to our body, but they're recognized by our immune system. The immune system goes, aha, maybe that's a flu virus. So it starts kicking out those antibodies even though we don't have an infection. It's a way to trick the body into making flu antibodies.
So hospital employees started getting flu shots several months ago.
Yes.
And we have passed our time of being required to get a flu shot.
Yes,
we don't have an option because we don't want to infect the community and people that we might encounter. Is the flu shot good for almost everybody?
Yes, it is. The flu, first of all, is made from a dead virus. So they take the scientists take a flu virus that is dead and take part of the protein from that and make the vaccine from that dead protein. And that's how the immune system is tricked into making antibodies. But because it's made from dead proteins, a dead virus, it can't cause an infection. So it's recommended for almost everyone who is able to get it. Now, certain people, if somebody's going through chemotherapy for cancer, or very immunocompromised because of some other disease process, those people would be recommended by their doctor not to get the vaccine possibly at that specific time. But almost everyone else, especially those in high risk groups, based on age and underlying disease, are recommended to get the vaccine.
So if I wasn't sure if I might have something that would prevent me from being recommended to take it, my doctor will be able to answer that
they would be
question
able to
for me.
answer that
So
question.
I should make the assumption that I'm probably a good candidate for a
That's the best
flu
policy,
vaccine.
especially if you're over age 60, or if you have any diabetes, heart disease, lung disease. You should just assume that you need to get it.
Now, you've hit on this point already, but I think it's worthy of repeating. A lot of people, when they get the flu shot, will think they don't feel well, or they're kind of sore, or and they'll say, I think it gave me the flu. That is not possible.
That's not possible. Now, it is true, I got the flu shot a few weeks back, and my arm was sore for a couple days. I didn't have any other symptoms, but people sometimes will say, I feel a little achy, or I just don't feel well. That's not the flu. That's oftentimes our own immune system, as it's generating those antibodies that I talked about. People will feel a little funny. They may feel a little achy, or feel a little worn down for a day or two, but that is not a flu. Those are symptoms from our body's own response to that vaccine. So it shows that the vaccine's actually working and taking effect. Another thing that happens, once you get the flu vaccine, it can take 2 weeks for it to really give you immunity. So if people wait to get the flu vaccine until the infection is really spreading rapidly in the community, there's a strong likelihood that they'll actually get the flu before the vaccine's kicked in. So for example, if I wait until December to get the flu shot, and flu's running through the community, once I get that vaccine, I'm not going to be immune for 2 weeks. So the next day I may be exposed and develop the flu, and then I'll say, I got that flu shot and it didn't work. I still got the flu.
Right.
It's not that it's not working. It's that it wasn't given soon enough.
But it is true, I believe, that if you take the flu shot and for some reason you do get, let's say, 10 days after you've had the flu shot, you get the flu. There is a possibility even then there could be some benefit from having gotten the shot.
Yes, and in fairness, I would say that the flu shot doesn't necessarily work in every single person who gets it. In some people, it gives them partial immunity. So it is possible to get the flu at some point after you get the flu shot. But if you do, it's much more likely to be a mild case.
Okay. And can you get the flu more than once in a season if you don't take the flu virus?
It's generally felt that you can't get the flu that particular season, but in reality, you probably can get it twice. There are some cases where people have gotten the flu twice, and what would happen is somebody gets the flu, their body creates some antibodies, but maybe they don't create a lot of antibodies, so they still have some susceptibility to the flu. It's not very common. Usually, as a general rule, once you've had the flu, you're probably not going to get it again that same season.
So again, just thinking about the COVID virus being here and the flu on top of that, first of all, from the benefit of our community as a whole and how many people are in the hospital, So we need to avoid every illness possible
Yes,
to
we
make
do.
sure that we have the opportunity to treat those that are the most ill from
Mhm.
COVID.
Mhm.
And having the flu shot is really it's like wearing a mask. It's helping the whole community, not just you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
One of the questions we often get is, where do you get the flu shot? And I know that that's a widespread opportunity in the community to get the flu shot. If you have Medicare or you have insurance, your opportunities to pretty much get that at your own provider, get it at one of the drugstores. You can always go to the health department.
Yes.
They do have flu vaccine, and even if you don't have insurance or other ways they're going to help you find a way to get inoculated.
Yes, they will.
So don't let that prevent you from being able to go get the flu shot. Reverend Ike, I know you hear your congregation and community, and just like we hear people in the community talking, what did they say? Are people resistant to take the flu sometime?
Well, yes.
The flu
I
shot,
think that
should
we
say.
have, Doctor, have answered a lot of the questions. A lot of them, well, if I'm in a pandemic, the corona, do I still need a flu shot? Or will the mask prevent me from the corona or from the flu? Where do I go to get? I think all of these questions have been answered. And when you were talking, I'm looking at my list here, and all of the questions that I have here was answered. And I thank you guys so very much. And this is what this whole segments are about, is to educate our people. And if people will listen to this and, go with the advice of the doctors, we can and we will get through this. So again, all of my questions have been answered. You guys just made my job easy. but thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Yes.
Yes.
We look forward to being back and for an in-depth conversation that may take multiple sessions to talk about what COVID is, what kind of vaccines are coming, other treatments that are out there. We are right on the cutting edge of administering treatments,
Yes,
and
we
can thank that in large part to the hard work of Dr. Lowry and our team at the hospital who, the moment things have come available, they have jumped on it to make sure we could be in line first.
Yeah. Maybe those are some of the things that we need to educate the people at. You said we are at the cutting edge. Maybe in our next segment, we can define the cutting edge. We can define, okay, where we're at and what we're going to be doing. So these are good, and I don't know how long we're going to continue this, as long as Dr. Lowry, you will allow us about 10 minutes into your busy world. We can very much appreciate
This
it.
is time well spent. I'm
Thank
honored
you.
to be here.
Thank you. Think that this may end this segment, but we look forward, and I'm already excited about the next time we can come together. So to our community and to the city of Lenoir and to all that are looking, we just want to ask you just to tune in and continue to send in your questions, and we're going to try to flood Dr. Lowry with these questions, and he can answer them as much as we can through each segment. So again, thank UNC Hospital, Ms. Smith and Dr. Lowry for spending this time with us in a talk with the doctor. So thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
What an informative and educational segment. Reverend Perkins and the Mount Pilgrim Media Ministry want to thank you for tuning in. We are located at 539 Willow Street in Lenoir, North Carolina. Please visit. We would love to see you. Join us every Thursday, right here at 7 p.m. with another segment of Let's Talk to the Doctor. Be blessed, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We would like to thank our partners, Caldwell UNC Healthcare, as we are doing good in the neighborhood. Please hit your share button at this time.